The sunlight hits our breakfast nook in that soft, buttery way that makes everything look like a Pinterest board. I'm sipping my matcha, watching Mark. He looks perfect. He looks like the man I've spent 7 years building a life with. He's laughing at something on his phone, his thumb tracing the edge of his wedding ring. It's a habit he has. I used to think it was a sign of devotion. Now, I just wonder if he's making sure the cage is still locked. "You're quiet today, Elena," he says, not looking up. "Just thinking about the gallery opening." I lie. The words taste like ash. I'm actually thinking about the credit card statement I found tucked in the bottom of the recycling bin. A charge for a high-end boutique that sells baby clothes. We don't have children. We've been trying for 3 years. A journey paved with white-tiled doctors' offices and heartbreakingly negative tests. Mark reaches across the table and squeezes my hand. His skin is warm. His eyes are that deep, trustworthy brown that convinced me to move across the country for him. "Don't stress. You're the best curator in the city. You've got this." I smile, but it doesn't reach my eyes. My stomach feels like it's full of cold lead. I want to believe him. I want to believe that the boutique charge was a mistake, or a gift for a colleague, or a phantom line item. That was the moment everything changed. Not because of a fight, but because of a feeling. That primal, gut-level instinct that screams run before you even see the predator. "I have to head into the office early," Mark says, standing up and smoothing his tailored suit. He kisses my forehead. It's a practiced movement. Efficient. "I might be late tonight. Big merger." I watch him walk to his car. I watch him disappear down the driveway. Then I go to his home office. The door is locked. Mark never locks his office. My heart starts a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I've always been the cool wife. The one who doesn't check phones. The one who doesn't ask questions. I trusted him. Completely. But the silence in this house is suddenly deafening. And the lock on that door feels like a slap in the face. I find the spare key in the back of the linen closet, hidden inside a box of old light bulbs. My hands are shaking so hard I can barely fit it into the keyhole. Click. The room smells like his expensive cologne and old paper. I head straight for the filing cabinet. It's mostly tax returns and mortgage papers. Nothing. I'm about to leave, feeling like a paranoid fool, when I notice a small black USB drive taped to the underside of his desk. I plug it into my laptop. My breath hitches. There are dozens of photos. A woman I don't recognize. She's beautiful in a soft, ethereal way. And in every photo, she's holding a baby. A little boy with Mark's unmistakable chin and those same deep, trustworthy brown eyes. The date on the most recent photo is yesterday. I stare at the screen until the pixels burn into my retinas. The baby is maybe 6 months old. He's wearing a tiny blue sweater, the same one from the boutique on the credit card statement. I felt invisible. All those nights I spent crying over negative pregnancy tests. All those times Mark held me and told me, "It's okay, we have each other." He was living a double life. He wasn't mourning our empty nursery. He was filling another one. I hear the front door open. My heart stops. Mark is back. He forgot his laptop charger. I scramble to unplug the USB, my fingers fumbling. I shove it into my pocket just as I hear his footsteps on the stairs. I duck into the walk-in closet in the hallway, pressing my back against the hanging coats. "Elena," he calls out. His voice sounds different now. Sinister. "You hear?" I hold my breath. My lungs are screaming. I see his shadow pass the closet door. He goes into his office. There's a long silence. I can imagine him checking the desk, checking the lock. "Damn it," I hear him mutter. He leaves the room and heads back downstairs. A minute later, his car roars to life and peels out of the driveway. He's panicked. He knows someone was in there. I collapse onto the floor of the closet, surrounded by my own dresses. I want to scream, but the sound is trapped in my throat. I trusted them. I trusted his mother, Sarah, who always asked when she was getting a grandchild. Did she know? I think back to the family dinners. The way Sarah and Mark would exchange looks. The way she'd bring up his long hours and tell me I needed to be more supportive. It wasn't just Mark. It was an entire infrastructure of lies. I spend the next 3 hours in a fugue state, driving to the address I found in a hidden folder on the USB. A small house on the outskirts of the city. I park 2 blocks away and walk. It's a modest, charming place. There's a stroller on the porch. I see her through the window, the woman from the photos. She's rocking the baby, singing softly. She looks happy. She looks peaceful. She has no idea that she's the other life, or perhaps she knows exactly who I am and doesn't care. Then, a car pulls up. It's not Mark's. It's Sarah's, my mother-in-law. She gets out of the car carrying a bag of groceries and a giant teddy bear. She doesn't knock. She has a key. She walks right in. And through the glass, I see her embrace the woman. I see her take the baby and kiss his forehead with a tenderness she never showed me. The betrayal isn't just a wound. It's a demolition. My entire reality is a stage set, and I've just walked behind the curtain to find nothing but plywood and rot. They thought I wouldn't fight back. They thought I was the quiet, artistic wife who would just fade away if things got difficult. I take out my phone and snap a photo of Sarah holding the child. My hands are steady now. The grief is still there, but it's being encased in a cold, hard shell of rage. I need proof, not just photos of a baby that looks like Mark. I need something undeniable. I return home before Mark, moving like a ghost. I put the spare key back. I sit on the sofa in the dark, watching the shadows stretch across the floor. When Mark walks in, he's glowing. He looks like a man who just won the lottery. "Hey, babe, why are the lights off?" "Just a headache," I say. My voice sounds hollow, like it's coming from the bottom of a well. He sits next to me, putting an arm around my shoulder. I flinch. I can't help it. To me, his skin now feels like it's crawling with lies. "Whoa, Jumpy," he chuckles. "You really are stressed about the gallery. Tell you what, let's go to my mom's for dinner tomorrow. She misses you. She'll fix us a big meal, and we can just relax." The audacity makes my vision go blurry. That sounds lovely, Mark. That night, I lie awake next to him. He sleeps the sleep of the innocent, his breathing deep and rhythmic. I watch the clock tick. Every second is a reminder of the years I wasted. Every second is a reminder of the baby I couldn't have while he was playing house 10 miles away. The next morning, I wait for him to go to the shower. I go to his gym bag. I find what I'm looking for, his hairbrush. I pull a few strands of hair, with the follicles attached. Then I go to the kitchen and grab a discarded pacifier I'd kept in a memory box from our last failed IVF cycle. No, that won't work. I need the baby's DNA. It's seamless. It's desperate. It's the most dishonest thing I've ever done, and I feel zero guilt. When I get back to my car, I'm shaking. I put the toy in a biohazard bag. That evening, we go to Sarah's. The dinner is a masterpiece of manipulation. Sarah spends the whole time talking about how family is everything and how some things are just meant to be. She keeps pressing me to eat, saying I look thin and haggard. "You need to take care of yourself. Elena," Sarah says, patting my hand. "For the future." I look at her, this woman who has been like a mother to me, and I realize she isn't looking at me with concern. She's looking at me with triumph. She has the heir she wanted. I'm just the placeholder wife, the one with the respectable career and the social standing that keeps Mark's image polished. "I am taking care of myself, Sarah," I say, a sharp edge to my voice, "in ways you wouldn't believe." The look of confusion on her face is the only thing that gets me through the meal. I spend the next 3 days waiting. I don't eat. I barely sleep. Mark is working late. Every night. I know where he is. I can picture him in that other house. Being the father, he never was here. The notification hits my phone on Thursday afternoon. Results ready. I open the PDF in my car, parked in a grocery store lot. My heart is thumping against my teeth. Paternity, 99.9% probability. Mark Stevenson is the biological father. I expected that, but it's the second page that makes the world stop spinning. Maternity, 0% probability. Elena Stevenson is not the biological mother, but there's a third section. I had asked for a familial match search against the baby's DNA and my husband's known relatives. The baby isn't just Mark's. The mother is Mark's assistant, Chloe, the woman I'd met at office parties, the woman who had told me how much she admired our marriage. But that wasn't the shock. The shock was the financial trail I found when I hired a private investigator the same day. Mark hadn't just hidden a baby. He had used our joint savings, the money we'd set aside for my gallery and our future, to buy that house, to pay for Chloe's life. He didn't just break my heart. He robbed me. The rage that follows the heartbreak is a cold, clarifying thing. It's not the kind of rage that makes you scream. It's the kind that makes you plan. I realize I can't just confront him. If I do, he'll gaslight me. He'll call me crazy. He'll move the money. He'll have Sarah testify that I'm unstable. I've seen them do it to others. They are a united front of polished, upper-middle-class cruelty. I start by visiting a lawyer, the meanest, most expensive divorce attorney in the state. I want everything. I tell her, I want the house, the accounts, and I want him to feel the weight of every lie he's told for the last year. She looks at the DNA results and the bank statements I've gathered. A slow smile spreads across her face. Oh, Elena, we're going to do more than that. Over the next week, I become a master of the perfect illusion. I cook Mark his favorite dinners. I listen to him talk about his day. I even suggest we go away for a weekend. That sounds great, honey, he says, oblivious. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's managed to balance two families without a single crack in the facade. But I'm busy. I'm transferring my personal assets. I'm gathering evidence of Sarah's involvement. I find emails between her and Chloe. Sarah wasn't just a witness. She was the architect. She had encouraged Mark to find a fertile woman because I was broken. The words in those emails, broken, useless, a dead end. They didn't see me as a person. I was a malfunctioning appliance in their perfect life. I felt invisible for so long, but now I am the only one who sees the truth. And that gives me all the power. I find out that Mark is planning a naming ceremony for the baby this Sunday, a private party at a small garden venue. He told me he has a golf tournament out of town. Sarah told me she's going to a spa retreat. They are literally throwing a party for his secret life while I'm supposed to be sitting at home, waiting for them to return. I think I'll go to the gallery this Sunday. I tell Mark on Friday night. Clear out some old files. Good idea, babe, he says, kissing my cheek. Work hard. I watch him walk away, and for the first time in months, I don't feel like crying. I feel like a predator. They thought I wouldn't fight back. They thought I was too refined for a scene. They're right. I'm not going to make a scene. I'm going to make a disaster. I contact a local lifestyle blogger, someone I've helped in the past with gallery features. She has a massive following and a thirst for high society drama. I have a story for you. I tell her, but you have to be at this address on Sunday at 2 p.m. Bring your best camera. I also send an invitation to Chloe's parents. I happen to know they are deeply religious, conservative people who believe Chloe is working a high-level job in another city and is single and focused. They have no idea she's a mistress with a hidden child. The pieces are on the board. I spend Saturday night packing a single suitcase. Not with my clothes. I can buy new ones, but with my grandmother's jewelry, my legal documents, and the hard drive. I leave a note on the kitchen island. Just one sentence. I hope the party is worth the price. No, that's too soft. I tear it up. I don't want him to know I'm gone until it's too late to stop the bleeding. Sunday morning is overcast. The sky a bruised purple. It's fitting. I dress in my most expensive power suit, the one I wore when I landed my first major curation. It's sharp white and intimidating. I look in the mirror, and I don't see the broken woman Sarah described. I see a woman who is about to burn a kingdom down. I arrive at the garden venue 30 minutes after the party starts. I can hear the music from the parking lot. A soft string quartet. Mark always did have expensive taste, especially when he was using my money. I see the blogger Mia, tucked behind a large topiary. She gives me a subtle thumbs up. Her camera is ready. I see Chloe's parents pulling up in their modest sedan. They look confused, clutching a gift bag they think is for a corporate milestone Chloe told them about. I walk toward the entrance. The usher tries to stop me. I'm sorry, ma'am. This is a private event. I'm the hostess, I say, my voice cold and steady. Move. The sheer authority in my tone works. He steps aside. I walk into the courtyard. It's beautiful. White roses everywhere. A long table filled with champagne. And there, at the head of the garden, is Mark. He's holding the baby. Sarah is standing next to him, beaming. Chloe is on his other side, her hand resting possessively on his arm. They look like the perfect family. The moment Mark sees me, the color drains from his face so fast I think he might faint. He literally stumbles back, nearly dropping the child. Elena, he gasps. The name sounds like a curse in the quiet garden. The music stops. The guests, mostly Mark's loyal friends and a few of Sarah's socialite cronies, turn to look. Don't stop on my account, I say, my voice projecting perfectly across the lawn. I just wanted to see what $50,000 of our joint savings bought us. It's a lovely party, Mark. The roses are a nice touch. Though, I think Chloe's parents might be a bit confused about why their daughter is standing there like a wife. Chloe's father, a tall, stern man, steps forward. Chloe, what is she talking about? Who is this man? Chloe looks like she wants the earth to swallow her. Dad, I can explain. Explain what? I interject. That Mark is married to me? That he's been using my income to fund this entire charade? Or perhaps you'd like to explain the DNA test results I have in my bag. Sarah steps forward, her face contorted in a mask of concerned rage. Elena, you're making a scene. You're clearly unwell. We knew the stress of the fertility treatments was getting to you. Stop, I say. I pull out a stack of high-resolution prints, the emails between her and Mark. I toss them onto the gift table, like confetti. I'm not the one who's unwell, Sarah. I'm the one who's awake. I turn to the guests. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elena, the woman who paid for most of your drinks today. And this, I point to Mark, is a man who thinks family is something you can build on a foundation of theft and betrayal. Mark tries to move toward me, his face turning a dark, ugly red. Get out, Elena. You're done. Oh, I'm definitely done, I say. I pull out my phone and hit send on a pre-drafted email to his entire firm, including the board of directors. It contains the evidence of his embezzlement from our joint accounts and the conflict of interest regarding his assistant. But you're the one who's finished. The garden becomes a theater of chaos. Chloe's father is shouting at Mark. Chloe is sobbing, clutching her mother's arm. Sarah is trying to scramble and pick up the printed emails before the guests can read them. But it's too late. People are already holding them, their faces a mixture of shock and disgusted delight. Mia, the blogger, is capturing everything. The flash of her camera is like a strobe light on their downfall. You think you can just walk in here and ruin our lives. Sarah screams at me, her poise finally shattered. We did this for the family. For the legacy. You couldn't give him what he needed. What he needed was a spine. I shot back. And what you needed was a lesson in reality. You don't get to build a legacy on my back. Mark finally hands the baby to a stunned bridesmaid and lunges toward me. Give me your phone. You have no right. I have every right, I say, stepping back as two security guards, who I hired and had waiting at the gate, step in front of me. The police are on their way, Mark. I filed a report this morning for the unauthorized transfer of funds, and my lawyer has already filed the divorce papers. The house, the one we live in, it's in my name. I've already had the locks changed. He stops. The realization hits him. He has nowhere to go. The small house Chloe lives in, it was bought with stolen money. The bank will be freezing those assets by morning. You're a monster, Mark whispers. No, I say, leaning in close so only he can hear. I'm the person you thought wouldn't fight back. I'm the person you thought was invisible. How does it feel to be seen for exactly what you are? I turn my back on him. I walk through the crowd of gaping socialites. I see the pity in some eyes, but mostly I see fear. They know that if I could take down the golden boy, Mark Stevenson, none of their secrets are safe. I reach the exit, but I stop one last time. I look at the baby. He's crying now, a thin, wailing sound. My heart twinges for a second. He's an innocent in all of this, but I realize I can't save him. I can only save myself. Chloe, I call out. The girl looks up, her makeup smeared with tears. He'll do it to you, too. Men who build lives on lies don't suddenly start telling the truth because the woman is younger. Good luck. You're going to need it when the child support checks start bouncing. I walk out to my car. As I pull away, I see the blue lights of a police cruiser turning into the venue. I drive. I don't go to the house. I go to a hotel I booked under a different name. I sit on the edge of the bed and wait for the adrenaline to fade. My phone starts blowing up. Texts from Mark, pleading then threatening. Texts from Sarah, calling me every name in the book. Notifications from Mia's blog as the story goes viral in our social circles. I turn the phone off. I go to the bathroom and wash my face. I look at my reflection. For the first time in years, the woman looking back at me doesn't look tired. She looks dangerous. She looks free. The perfect illusion is gone. In its place is something much more sturdy. 6 months later, the divorce was a bloodbath, but I came out of it with everything I asked for. Mark's firm fired him the day after the party. They couldn't afford the PR nightmare, especially with the embezzlement charges looming. He's currently working a mid-level sales job in another state, living in a cramped apartment. Chloe left him 2 weeks after the revelation. Turns out, true love fades pretty quickly when the mansion and the luxury SUV disappear. She's suing him for support he can't afford to pay. Sarah, she's been effectively exiled from the country club circuit. The woman who prided herself on legacy is now the subject of every hushed conversation at brunch. She tried to call me once to apologize and ask for a loan. I blocked the number before she could finish her sentence. I'm standing in my new gallery space. It's smaller, more intimate. It's entirely mine. No joint accounts, no hidden agendas. The walls are covered in art that speaks of resilience, of breaking and mending. A woman walks in. She looks at a piece I curated, a sculpture of a glass bird that's been shattered and glued back together with gold. It's beautiful, she says. It looks stronger than it was before. It is, I say. I think about the house I used to share with Mark. I sold it last month. I didn't keep a single piece of furniture. I didn't keep a single memory. People ask me if I'm lonely. They ask if I regret ruining the family. They don't understand that you can't ruin something that was already hollow. They don't understand that the family I lost was just a ghost I was chasing. I pick up my keys and head toward the door. I have a dinner date tonight with a man who knows my story and still looks me in the eye. But even if that goes nowhere, I'm okay. I've learned that the most important person in my life is the one I spent years ignoring. I walk out into the cool evening air. I don't look back. I don't have to. The fire I started burned away everything that was holding me down, and the ashes have finally settled. Sometimes losing your family is the price of finding yourself.